Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to chapter 4, Threads and Concurrency. First, we'll have a look to the outline. Okay. There are 7 topics in this chapter. However, the last topic, or as example, has been excluded from the chapter. So total we have 6 topics. Inshallah, each topic will be discussed in one video. So we will have 6 video for this chapter. Right, we look at the next we look at the objective. So at the end of the chapter, students should be able to write the first objective. You should be able to identify the basic component of threads, okay, and contrast threads and process. So this is related with topic 4.1. Okay, the second objective describe the benefit and challenge of designing multi-threaded application. Okay, the benefit is related to topic 4.1, while the challenge is related with topic 4.2. Okay, the third objective, design multi-threaded application using thread libraries. Okay, we're only focusing on Java thread libraries. Okay, while pthreads and Windows threading APIs have been excluded from this chapter. Okay, the fourth objective, illustrate different approaches to implicit threading, including thread pools and fork join. Okay, we're only focusing on thread pools and fork joins. Okay, the Grand Center Dispatch approach is excluded from this chapter. Okay, so the final objective, since it's related to the final topic that has been excluded from this chapter, so this is not the objective of for our course outline. Okay, for the chapter 4. Okay, alright, so now we are ready to discuss the first topic 4.1, the overview of threads and concurrency. So before we discuss about this slide, we look at this slide first. Okay, this is the basic component of thread. So thread consists of thread ID, a set of register, a program counter, and a stack. Okay, so these resources is belong to each of threads. Okay, while threads will share the codes, the data, and other OS resources such as open files and signals. Okay, so we can conclude that a multi-threaded process is a one process, okay, that consists of several threads. Okay. Okay, so previously in chapter 3, we applied the single threaded process. Okay, one process with a single thread. Okay, now we can continue with the previous slide. Okay, the motivation of multi-threaded. Okay, modern computer and mobile devices, okay, the application for them are multi-threaded. Okay, so an application is implemented as a separate process with several threads. Okay, right. So this is the example of application that already apply multiple threaded process. Okay, so we pick one of the application. Okay, so for example, when you are doing your assignment using a word processor, so one thread can display a graphic, another thread can respond to your keystroke, so the third thread will do the spell checking and grammar checking in the background. Okay, so another example, there's a certain situation where an application need to perform several similar tasks. Okay, so for example, a web server that need to respond to several or perhaps thousands of client requests. Okay, so the similar task is to respond to a client request. Okay, right. So the solution, one of the solution is we can apply the process creation method. Okay, where a web server process will generate a new process for each of the requests it need to handle. Okay, so however, process creation is heavyweight due to resource intensive. So we already learned in chapter 3, when we create a new process, it requires physical resources such as CPU time, memory, file, input-output devices, as well as the logical resources. So while thread creation is lightweight, okay, we already discussed it in the basic component of thread. So in general, to increase the efficiency, we can use multi-threaded process, okay, where one process that contain of multiple thread. Okay, so if we refer back to the web server example. So if the web server process is multi-threaded, so the server will create a separate thread, okay, that listen for client requests. Okay, so this is different with process creations, okay, where a web server process generate a separate process to service the request. Okay, so we look at this figure. Okay, so if the web server process is multi-threaded, okay, so when a client make a request, rather than a server create a new process, it will create a new thread to service the request. Okay, and it resume listening for additional client requests. So if there are a new request, okay, the server will create a separate thread that listen for client requests. Okay, so this is the application for several similar tasks. Okay, so actually, most of operating system are generally multi-threaded. Okay, so for example, in Linux system, during system boot time, several kernel created. Okay, so each thread perform a specific task. One thread will manage devices, one thread for memory management, so another thread will handle the interrupts. Right, so we look at the another subtopic of this topic, which is benefit of multi-threaded. Okay, so for this subtopic, we will discuss at the end of the chapter. So inshallah, we will continue for the next video on topic 4.2. Thank you for watching.